While President-elect Joe Biden may have won the White House back for Democrats, the GOP might have had a better election year, especially in California. Republicans gained 3 seats from Democrats in the U.S. House, the first time it's happened since the nationwide Republican Revolution back in 1994. This included 2 seats in Orange County. Ending the 2 years, Democrats have entirely represented the traditionally conservative county after the blue wave of 2018. This included some victories in ethnic diversity, with Young Kim and Michelle Steele becoming the first Korean-American women elected to represent California on the Hill.
I spoke with Joe Collins, the GOP candidate who ran against LMU campus's representative in Congress, Maxine Waters, this election cycle, to learn more about the GOP's successes in California.
I think it is a shift. It's a shift in not only the party when it comes to diversity, but it's also a shift in the mindset of people who live in California. They are looking for something different, a different type of leader who is not going to be a hypocrite, a do as I say and not as I do type of leader.
Collins also spoke about the current recall effort against Governor Gavin Newsom, led mostly in response to a perceived mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic, including the infamous French laundry scandal.
Because of these certain things, I think the amount of hypocrisy that came along with Gavin Newsom and the way he governs his state is well beyond his realm of power, and I think he's at a point where he's actually crossing the line towards a more dictatorship style of governance. And even when it comes to Black-owned businesses and stuff like that, Black-owned businesses were failing before the virus even came around, just because of the lack of financial education that we receive in our communities. And so no, I don't think that anything that Gavin Newsom is doing has any effect on slowing down the spread. Actually, I think that the herd immunity will work better than shutting down our economy.
Collins' support for non-vaccinated herd immunity and taking chances with COVID-19 has been criticized by multiple scientists and the King of Sweden, who admitted that his country's strategy, lauded by conservative pundits and outlets, failed.
We're really now starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel that is going to ultimately get us through this. We know we're going to be able to put this behind us, but in the meantime, we still have a struggle ahead of us. So we've got to get people vaccinated as quickly and as expeditiously as we possibly can until we get that herd immunity, as we say, which will require, in my opinion, about 75 to 80% of the population getting vaccinated. But in the meantime, we have to adhere to the public health measures in order to blunt the acceleration of these terrible numbers that we hear.
Collins also recently attended an event hosted by America's Frontline Doctors, a conservative conspiracy group that spreads anti-vaxxer misinformation, with that recent event being targeted at the Black community to convince them to avoid taking the COVID-19 vaccine. Despite advice from the CDC, health experts like Dr. Anthony Fauci, and Surgeon General Jerome Adams, as well as multiple studies showing that masks are effective at stopping COVID-19, Collins told me he was against using masks.
There hasn't been any studies that show that wearing a mask or social distancing or anything is going to stop the virus.
Collins' beliefs, however, mirror those of many Republicans, whose studies show are less likely to wear masks than other demographics. However, Young Kim and Mike Garcia, who retained his seat for the GOP after a special election in May, have supported using masks. Michelle Steele appears to have reversed her initial hardline anti-mask stance as the pandemic progressed. All in all, the future of the California GOP looks to be fairly bright based on what happened in 2020.
Cristobal Spielmann, Election 2020, reporting from Nashville, Tennessee.